Hey everyone, it's Josh on Blockchain DXB and today's the 9th of February 2026 and it's early Monday in Dubai and there's quite a lot of interesting things going on in the world of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. And here's the thing, Satoshi, after a very long time there's crypto-related ETF inflows, and when we talk about inflows, it does mean that the prices of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies has pumped up. But here's the thing, Satoshi, the market sentiment is still at fear, so it's going to be a really interesting week ahead in the world of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, isn't it, Satoshi?
That's correct, George. It's going to be a really interesting week. And as you mentioned, there is significant amount of inflow since the last 24 hours. And that does mean that the price of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies will be pumping up.
And in comparison to last week, we've already seen that the prices of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies has pumped up. But here's the thing, guys. The price of Bitcoin is well below the $80,000 mark. And we definitely have a long way ahead to go. But here's the thing, if you look at the market sentiment, right now it is still at extreme fear, Satoshi, and the number today is at 8, and last Friday this number was 5, so it's going to be really interesting to see how the market reacts. Now here's the thing, Satoshi, right now in US politics, the Jeffrey Epstein list is out, and there is some drama regarding Jeffrey Epstein, who was actually involved in the early stages of Bitcoin. Do you think because of that the prices of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies have fallen down last week?
It certainly is an interesting dynamic, George. The shift from last week's sentiment to the current extreme fear, despite the significant inflows, makes for a very complex picture. The discussions around Jeffrey Epstein's potential involvement in the early stages of Bitcoin certainly add to the drama in the market.
Now, there are reports stating that he was actually supporting Gavin Anderson and they were indirectly financing him through MIT. But here's the thing, guys, Gavin Anderson is no longer involved in Bitcoin. As a matter of fact, if I'm not mistaken, Satoshi, he's not involved in Bitcoin for almost a decade. But look, any negative news in the world of Bitcoin connected to Jeffrey Epstein definitely does not paint a good picture, isn't it? Now, in today's episode, we won't get into that because anything connected to Jeffrey Epstein, I believe, is kind of like a negative news. But look, we do have a negative news that we're going to be talking about in today's episode, and this news, Satoshi, is regarding Bitcoin mining difficulty. Now, do you want to tell our listeners what is it that we are going to be discussing later on in today's episode? Because the Bitcoin mining difficulty has fallen down by well over 11%, isn't it?
Indeed, we will be discussing the significant drop in Bitcoin's mining difficulty, the largest since 2021. It presents a temporary relief for miners, and we'll explore what this means for the market dynamics.
And what I was thinking is, Satoshi, maybe we can also go ahead and explain to our listeners how often the Bitcoin mining difficulty is calculated and what is it that the miners are trying to solve. Now, the next news, unfortunately, is not a positive news, and this is connected to Bithumb. And check this out, guys. They made a blunder of roughly around $44 billion. So really unfortunate news, but looks like the thing has been resolved, isn't it, Satoshi?
Right, so we'll be covering that major blunder at Bithumb, where around 620,000 Bitcoin was accidentally transferred, causing a brief market disruption. It's quite a story that South Korean regulators are now looking into.
That is definitely a massive deal, isn't it? And thankfully, that mistake has been solved, and I believe they have recovered over 97% of the funds. Now, the next news is a really interesting one, and to be honest, if you're a massive advocate of cryptocurrencies, you should definitely not be content with it, but this is connected to stablecoin issuer that is Tether, and here's the thing, Satoshi, they have actually helped the Turkish government in seizure of $544 million worth of Bitcoin, isn't it?
That's right, George. Tether has directly assisted Turkish authorities in the seizure of $544 million in crypto linked to an illegal network. It highlights the significant role stablecoins play in the current crypto landscape.
On one way, I kind of agree to what Tether is doing, but look, there is a centralized entity that goes ahead and makes a decision to go ahead and freeze your account, and Tether historically has already done such similar moves. Now, from a philosophical point of view, this is definitely unfortunate news, but here's the thing, guys. When you talk about illegal transactions, it is definitely a massive no, so I kind of agree to what Tether is doing as well. Now, the final news for today, Satoshi, I do believe is probably the most important news going forward in 2026 and beyond, and this is connected to Crypto.com. And check this out, guys. They have launched a new domain called as AI.com, and they are unveiling AI Agent. So do you want to tell our listeners, Satoshi, what this news is all about? And I'm curious to check, how much do you think they would have actually paid for this domain that is AI.com, Satoshi?
That's a fascinating development, George. Crypto.com CEO launching AI.com and unveiling autonomous AI agents is quite a leap. These agents are designed to handle tasks autonomously while maintaining privacy. As for the domain name, a premium domain like that could easily command a substantial price, likely millions of dollars, to align with their ambitious goals.
Now imagine having ownership of Crypto.com and AI.com. That is definitely $1 million worth of opportunity, I guess. So look, guys, we have quite a lot of interesting things to cover in today's episode. And like we do in every Blockchain DXB podcast, we will be looking at 2 news from Dubai, UAE and the Middle East. We want to tell our listeners, Satoshi, what is the first news that we have? Because it is connected to the world's largest AI chip, isn't it?
You're right, George. A truly massive opportunity. And in the world of groundbreaking news, the UAE has unveiled the world's largest AI chip at WGS 2026, packing 4 trillion transistors, a real benchmark in hardware.
And WGS is World Government Summit 2026, right?
That's correct, George.
And the company involved is G42, which I believe is one of the biggest companies in the world of artificial intelligence, not just in Abu Dhabi, probably in the entire world as well. So really interesting news. What about the funny news for today, Satoshi? I really like this news because it is connected to university students, isn't it? And it is great that they're working on artificial intelligence. So what is it that the listeners can expect in today's episode regarding this news?
The final news segment, George, is indeed exciting for education. Dubai is hosting the launch of new AI tools designed to support university students across the UAE. Listeners can expect to learn about how these tools, supported by the Ministry and Microsoft, will enhance personalized learning and career pathways.
So look, guys, we have quite a lot of interesting things to cover in today's episode. But before we go ahead and kickstart today's episode, a quick word from our sponsors. Hey everyone, this episode is powered by a new sponsor, that is Amana. And they are the region's first and fastest growing regulated all-in-one trading and investing app. So look, guys, whether you're looking into investing in US stocks like Apple or Tesla, or mega giants like ADNOC or Salik, Amana puts the financial markets on your fingertips. It includes gold, foreign exchange, ETFs, futures, commodities, and guess what, guys? They have over 375 cryptocurrencies, and this makes them the biggest crypto selection in the region. Now for the Blockchain DXB listeners, guys, if you want to go and build long-term wealth without thinking about it every day, explore Amana's pre-built auto investment plans, and all you have to do is set your monthly budget, choose your preferred asset category, and let Amana automate the investing for you. Zero fees, zero lockups, 100% customizable. And here's the thing, guys, funding your account is easier than ever. You can fund your account with Apple Pay, Google Pay, credit cards, instant bank deposits, and even crypto wallets. No friction and no hassles. And the best part is, guys, let's say if you need support, you would absolutely love Amana for this, because they offer 24/6 human customer service, as well as a personalized sales support, real people, real help, and the customer support is in English as well as in Arabic. And for the Blockchain DXB listener and community, guys, I do have something really exclusive for you. What you can do is register with Amana using the code Blockchain DXB, or you can also use the link that is in the show notes below. And here's the best part, guys. Once you register, fund your account with a minimum of $100 and at least go ahead and make one trade, and then you'll receive a $100 trading bonus credit to your account the following month. But look, guys, it's real important to note, the bonus is non-withdrawable. It is there to help you trade and learn. So look, guys, if you're looking for a transparent, powerful and easy to use app, that's Amana for you. So what are you waiting for, guys? Download the app now, or you can also visit the website that is amana.app, and don't forget to use the code BlockchainDXB. And Amana, guys, is all markets one app. Next, guys, I'm happy to announce that Blockchain DXB is the official media partner with one of the OGs in the cryptocurrency and blockchain event space, and that is Blockchain Futuristic Conference taking place in Florida this year, as well as ETH Women taking place simultaneously. And trust me, guys, this is an event that you don't want to miss, isn't it? Because for the very first time, North America's most immersive Web3 event is heading to the United States of America, and the Blockchain Futurist Conference and ETH Women event is actually taking place between the 5th and 6th of November. And the location is absolutely stunning, guys. It is taking place at Guitar Hotel at Hard Rock, which is in Hollywood, Florida. That's right, guys. Palm trees, panels, and the biggest mind in blockchain and cryptocurrency is all in one place. So there will be multi-stage panels, NFT galleries, DeFi showcases, hand-on tech demos, metaverse experiences, even outdoor VIP cabanas, and quite a lot more. And the Guitar Hotel at Hard Rock, guys, is one of the most iconic venues in the country. So look, guys, if you're in the Web3 space, cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, or even artificial intelligence space, or just want to do some serious networking, this is the place that you got to be. And to all of you Blockchain DXB listeners, guys, we have something really interesting for you, because you can get a 25% off the tickets. So just use the code DXB25, and the link to the event as well as the code is in the show notes below. And as an official media partner, I'll be doing exclusive live coverage, interviews, behind the scenes access, and I will be spotlighting some of the most exciting projects shaping the future of decentralized finance tech. So if you're at the venue, guys, definitely come and say hi. Maybe we can catch up for a coffee as well. So listen, guys, the code is DXB25, and by using this code you will be eligible for a 25% discount. And the event is taking place between the 5th and 6th of November 2025 at the iconic Guitar Hotel at Hard Rock, that is in Hollywood, Florida. And in the show notes below, guys, there's all contact details for Blockchain Futuristic Conference Florida 2025 as well as Eat Women. And look, guys, this is the future of blockchain technology brought into life. So don't just read about it, be there and head to the website, that is futuristconference.com, and go ahead and use the code DXB25. So see you at the event. Next, Advanced Media. Advanced Media, guys, is the largest distributor of professional video, photo, broadcast and cinematic equipment and accessories in the Middle East and MENA region. With over 2 decades of experience, Advanced Media is now the largest distributor in the Middle East, representing more than 100 recognizable brands, including brands such as Zeiss, DJI, Hasselblad, Red and Rode. As a matter of fact, guys, the very mic that I'm recording is being sponsored by Advanced Media as well, and Advanced Media has showrooms in Saudi Arabia and services as well. Looks like they're definitely taking the Middle East by storm. And here's the beautiful thing, guys, they're taking corporate social responsibility very seriously, and they're focusing on 3 P's, that is people, planet and prosperity. Now listen, guys, if you do want to find out more information regarding the statement of corporate social responsibility, check out the website, that is www.amt.tv. And here's the beautiful thing, guys, they also want to be a leader and set an example and reputation as a pioneer and member of the community. And in doing so, guys, they also have an AMT scholarship with SAE Institute in Dubai, UAE. So definitely check it out. And also, guys, Advanced Media is committed to persistently developing, organizing and hosting training workshops, seminars and community events that educate, inform and familiarize consumers with new equipment and the latest technological advances. So listen, guys, do one thing. If you do want to support this channel, go to the website, that is www.amt.tv, and follow the social media channels as well. All of the details are in the show notes below. Next, Startup OI is global one-tech platform for tech. It offers global high-paying tech jobs with flexibility in working time and location, global free tech events, and tech networks to connect with global like-minded engineers. A brilliant platform to listen to the tech experts in Metaverse and to grab their insights. Now listen, all you have to do is download the app Startup OI. If you're using an Android version, go to Google Store and App Store for iOS devices. Alternatively, you can also click on the show notes below to download Startup OI. Next, guys, listen, if you're into fitness, if you're into adventure, if you want to do something wild but still want to keep your health in check, there is a new podcast in town, a podcast focusing on obstacle course race in the Middle East. The podcast is called the Race Pace Podcast. So check out the Race Pace Podcast across all leading platforms. And the Race Pace Podcast is a peer-to-peer community-driven podcast where they talk all about obstacle course race in the Middle East, from Sandstorm to Spartan Race, from Tough Mudder to Desert Warrior Challenge, and also the Government Gulf Games, and quite a lot more. The podcast has interviews with athletes locally and internationally to get inside scoop on how athletes prepare for obstacle course race. In the podcast, they also talk about interesting stories on why they are motivated to do obstacle course race. And that's not all. They also plan to release 7 NFTs. And these NFTs are no ordinary. These NFTs will represent every emirate in the UAE. And listen, guys, these NFTs are going to be absolutely massive. So do one thing, go to Spotify, go to iTunes, go to any leading podcasting platform, check out the Race Pace Podcast across all leading platforms. And finally, guys, not your keys, not your crypto. If you have dabbled with cryptocurrencies and now are seriously getting to protect your cryptocurrencies, there is no better way to protect it by using a hardware wallet. And this is where Ledger Wallet kicks in, and Ledger Wallets are hardware cryptocurrency wallets made by Ledger, a company headquartered in Paris, France. And Ledger's hardware wallets are multi-currency wallets that are used to store private keys for cryptocurrencies offline. And Ledger offers two hardware wallets, the Ledger Nano and Ledger Nano X wallets. They are world-class experts with extensive crypto security backgrounds. They continuously look for vulnerabilities in Ledger products in a constant effort to improve the level of security. In today's world, securing these digital assets is a critical challenge, and this is where Ledger kicks in. So click the link below to buy your hardware wallet and support this podcast. It is a brilliant way to support this podcast. So what are you waiting for? The link is in the show notes below. Now guys, since you've taken care of that, let's go and look at the global cryptocurrency market. Now since the last 24 hours, Satoshi, the global cryptocurrency market has definitely picked up pace, and this represents a 2.10% increase over the last 24 hours. And the global cryptocurrency market right now is at $2.84 trillion. But here's the interesting thing, guys. If you look at the 24-hour trading volume, it is about the $100 billion mark, and because the prices are increasing, it is great that the cryptocurrency market volume has increased. But what about the 24-hour volume of decentralized exchanges, Satoshi? Do you want to read out a couple of metrics regarding decentralized exchanges?
Certainly. The total 24-hour volume of decentralized exchanges is $12.93 billion, with total fees being $66.16 million. The total value locked is $99.54 billion.
Now look, Satoshi, the total value locked is once again below the $100 billion mark, and in the episode that we released yesterday, we discussed that the total value locked was hovering below the $120 billion mark, and few months before that, it was hovering around the $130 to $140 billion mark. Only last week, it actually went below the $100 billion mark, but looks like the total value locked is actually picking up pace. But what about the decentralized to centralized exchange ratio? Right now, it is at 39.53%. This number should be higher and higher the better, isn't it?
You're absolutely right, George. The current decentralized to centralized exchange ratio is 39.53%. And as you say, a higher ratio generally indicates a more decentralized market, which many view as positive.
Now, another matrix which has pumped up since the last 72 hours that is connected with digital asset treasury inflows, and this number is at $4.08 billion. Now, there's a really strong correlation between total value locked and that of digital asset treasury inflows, isn't it? Because this actually means a lot of businesses are buying cryptocurrencies that is connected to proof of stake tokens, buying it and putting it into balance sheets, and then becoming validators, right?
Precisely. The increase in digital asset treasury inflows does suggest a growing trend of businesses acquiring and holding cryptocurrencies, often for proof-of-stake purposes, directly impacting the total value locked.
Now that matrix does make a lot of sense, because if you look at crypto-related ETFs, last week there was a significant amount of outflows, but after a very long time now we have crypto-related ETF inflows, but that number is still below the $300 million mark. It is at $297.5 million. So based on these three matrix, Satoshi, that is total value locked marginally increasing, digital asset treasury inflows increasing, as well as ETF turning from outflows to inflows. What do you think it actually indicates so far as the price of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies are concerned? What can we expect regarding the prices at least from Monday and Tuesday?
These indicators suggest a positive trend. The combination of increasing total value lock, rising digital asset treasury inflows, and the shift to positive crypto ETF inflows points towards a strengthening market sentiment. We could potentially see Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies maintain or even marginally increase their prices on Monday and Tuesday, assuming the positive momentum continues.
You're right in saying assuming that the positive momentum continues. But here's the thing, guys, whatever we are saying is definitely not financial advice. Make sure you go and do your own research. Now let's quickly run to the volume of decentralized exchanges. Do you want to read out the matrix regarding Uniswap, followed by PancakeSwap? You made a 5, pumped in Bison 5, because they are in the top 5, isn't it?
Sure, George. Let me go ahead and read the top 5 24-hour volumes for decentralized exchanges. The numbers are Uniswap 2.65 billion, PancakeSwap 1.61 billion, Humidify 853.15 million, Pump 778.84 million, and BisonFi 621.03 million.
Now let's quickly run to the volume of stablecoins. Now unfortunately, Satoshi, despite the digital asset treasury inflows increasing and the total value locked increasing and crypto turning out from outflows to inflows, the volume of stablecoins hasn't picked up pace, and according to me, This number should have been double of what it is. So I'm really curious to check how the prices will be reacting on Mondays and Tuesdays. Because here's the thing. Tether USDT's volume is only $86.83 billion. Ideally for the prices to pick up pace, this number should have been around the $130 to $150 billion mark. Let's see if we see that matrix tomorrow. Now Circle USDC is at number 2nd, but its 24-hour volume is below the $10 billion mark at $9.69 billion. And here's the thing guys, FBUSD's volume is below the $1 billion mark, and to be honest, Satoshi, for almost 2 years, this number is actually below the $1 billion mark for the very first time. It is only at $666 million. Now, am I right in saying that the volume of stablecoins should also pick up pace in order for the prices of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies to be pumping up? What's your take regarding it, Satoshi?
You're right, George. That's a fair point. The stablecoin volume does seem relatively low compared to the other metrics you mentioned, like the increasing digital asset treasury inflows and ETF inflows. It will definitely be interesting to see how that plays out for Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies on Monday and Tuesday, as stablecoin volume can often be a key indicator.
Definitely interesting week ahead. Now let's do one thing, Satoshi. Let's quickly run to the market cap, 24-hour trading volume and dominance of Bitcoin and Ethereum. Let me go ahead and read out the matrix for Bitcoin, and then you go ahead and read out the matrix for Ethereum, alright?
Sounds like a plan. Go ahead with Bitcoin.
Bitcoin right now, its market cap is below the $1.50 trillion mark. It is only at $1.41 trillion. But here's the thing guys, last week this matrix was around the $1.24 trillion mark. So in comparison to last week, this number has definitely picked up pace. But here's the thing, if you look at the 24-hour trading volume, it is only at $40.60 billion. And since the last 24 hours, if you look at Bitcoin's dominance, it has actually picked up pace. And right now it is at 57.10%. Why don't you tell our listeners the matrix regarding Ethereum? And then what I'll do is I'll read a few matrix regarding Binance.
Got it. For Ethereum, the market cap is $254.50 billion with a 24-hour trading volume of $29.41 billion. Ethereum's dominance is 10.20%. Now, over to you for Binance.
Now, Binance's market cap is at $87.70 billion. And if you look at the 24-hour trading volume of Binance, right now it is at $1.77 billion. Now, Satoshi, every day in the Blockchain DXB podcast, we tend to look at one new matrix. Now, what I thought in today's episode, because we're going to be talking about a news regarding artificial intelligence, why don't we go and look at matrix that is connected to artificial intelligence? So, do you want to tell our listeners the top AI coins by market cap and what is the matrix that we have? And then I thought, let's go and look at the top 5 coins that is connected to artificial intelligence. Do you want to read out that matrix to our listeners?
Certainly, George. The artificial intelligence AI market cap today is $12.9 billion, reflecting a negative 1.2% change in the last 24 hours. The top 5 coins by market cap are 1. BitTensor at $1.60 billion, 2. Near Protocol at $1.35 billion, 3. Internet Computer Protocol ICP at $1.34 billion, 4. at $750 million, and 5. Story at $453 million.
Now, regarding artificial intelligence, Satoshi, to digress, me personally, I don't think so that artificial intelligence needs blockchain technology as such, but blockchain technology needs artificial intelligence. What is your take on it? Because look, when you talk about artificial intelligence, I feel it will work better with a centralized entity or system. The only way, let's say, cryptocurrencies could actually merge with artificial intelligence is areas of, let's say, subscription payments or maybe immutability aspect of it. But other than that, me personally, I feel that artificial intelligence would actually work better in a centralized system.
That's a thought-provoking perspective, George. While centralized systems may offer certain efficiencies for AI, I believe there are significant benefits in exploring the synergy, as you mentioned, for subscription payments and immutability. Decentralization can provide transparency and trust in AI models and data, while immutability can ensure data integrity. The potential for decentralized AI networks is quite vast, George.
Let me put across a thought. Let's say, for people who are building artificial intelligence, if they have their source code completely open source, where everyone can go and check what the actual source code is regarding artificial intelligence, it does solve majority of the problems, isn't it? So that way we would know of particular artificial intelligence, let's say ChatGPT or Gemini, if it is politically aligned to only one side of the politics, or maybe they want to go and push forward an agenda. Would you agree to my assessment? Let's say if you have the source code completely open source, it does solve a lot of the problems.
I see your point, George. Open sourcing the code could definitely enhance transparency and help mitigate potential biases or unintended agendas. It allows for public scrutiny and collaborative development, which can improve the reliability and fairness of AI systems. However, it might also present certain challenges in terms of security and intellectual property.
You're absolutely right. Now, what I plan to do is, Satoshi, I do want to have a debate series. And the title of that debate is called as Does Blockchain Need Artificial Intelligence, or Does Artificial Intelligence Need Blockchain Technology? Do you think it is a cool title name, or do you think we could come up with another title name for the debate?
That's a very engaging title, George, as it directly addresses the core tension. For alternative titles, you might consider something like The Symbiotic Relationship, AI and Blockchain, or Converging Technologies. Is AI a necessity for blockchain? Do any of those resonate with you?
I think those are really interesting ones, and we'll definitely go ahead and explore that. Now let's go back to looking at the price of the king of all kings, that is Bitcoin. Because here's the thing, Satoshi, last week the price of Bitcoin did actually go below the $62,000 mark, but the prices have actually pumped up by almost $9,000, and today the price is $71,055. But since the last 24 hours, it is marginally down by 0.44%, and since the last 7 days, it is marginally down by 8.05%. Do you want to read out the matrix for Ethereum as well as Binance BNB Coin, please?
Certainly, George. Ethereum stands at $2,111 with a 24-hour change of plus 1.25% and a 7-day change of negative 8.32%. Binance BNB is priced at $643, experiencing a 24-hour change of negative 0.04% and a 7-day change of negative 14.46%. It's certainly interesting to see these market fluctuations, George.
And here's the thing, Satoshi, the price of Binance BNB Coin in December was around the $900 mark, so it has almost lost more than 30 to 40% of the price. And right now, if you look at the global cryptocurrency market, the Fear and Greed Index is still at extreme fear, the number 8. And here's the thing, Satoshi, if you look at Bitcoin mining difficulty, it has also fallen down by well over 11.6% this weekend. And as we mentioned at the beginning of the episode, this is the largest cut since China has banned going back in 2021. So do you want to read out a couple of metrics regarding Bitcoin mining difficulty? Because there are some really interesting metrics, and all of these metrics unfortunately are not good for the price of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies as well as in it.
You're right, George. The substantial drop in Binance BNB price is noteworthy. Regarding Bitcoin's mining difficulty, it did drop by 11.16% this weekend, the largest cut since 2021. This adjustment was triggered by winter storms that caused a significant drop in the network's hash rate as U.S. miners curtailed operations. This temporary relief for miners is expected to last until roughly February 20th, 2026.
And the difficulty fell from 1.67 trillion hash per second to 125.8 trillion hashes per second, and this was exactly in block number 935424. And as we talked about, this is the first double-digit drop going back to July of 2021, and this is giving miners a temporary break as Bitcoin revenue has been falling down as well. So it's going to be really interesting to see what happens in the coming weeks and days. And for our listeners, here's the thing. The mining difficulty gets adjusted every 2016 block, and the next adjustment, I believe, takes place around the 20th of February 2026, isn't it?
You're absolutely correct, George. On February 2026 is when the difficulty mining adjustment takes place.
And so far as the block tightening is concerned, it is actually reduced to 9 minutes 22 seconds. This means that the next difficulty mining adjustment may rise sharply. Now let's do one thing, Satoshi. Let's go ahead and give our listeners why the Bitcoin mining difficulty gets adjusted. So do you want to tell our listeners, Satoshi, what causes Bitcoin mining difficulty to adjust?
Well, George, the network automatically adjusts the difficulty every 20,016 blocks to ensure the average block time stays around 10 minutes. It's a response to changes in the total mining hash rate.
And this is one of the genius of Satoshi Nakamoto, isn't it? And here's the thing, Satoshi, whenever people ask me what is the definition of Bitcoin, I often say, Bitcoin by definition is peer-to-peer electronic cash system. Now if you break down the definition, the first part is peer-to-peer, and if you look at the second part, that is electronic cash system, this is where the Bitcoin mining difficulty is part of it. So it's important for listeners to understand that when you talk about Bitcoin mining difficulty, the mining difficulty gets adjusted every 2016 block, and this is one of the genius of Satoshi Nakamoto, I guess. Now why don't you tell our listeners, Satoshi, what happens if the hash rate drops or rises sharply?
That's a great point, George. The elegant design is certainly impressive. When the hash rate drops or rises sharply, the system maintains stability. If the hash rate drops, the difficulty decreases, making mining easier. Conversely, if the hash rate rises, the difficulty increases to maintain steady block times.
Now, keeping the news in mind, why did Bitcoin's mining difficulty drop 11.6%?
The reduction was triggered, George, because winter storms slowed block production as U.S. miners curtailed operations to support the power grid stability. This slowdown caused the network's hash rate to drop, prompting the system to lower difficulty.
And this is something which happened in the United States of America, right?
Yes, that's correct.
And what I'd really recommend our listeners to do is on Truth Social, President Donald Trump did actually post that he did actually give out funding to a couple of governors from the states that were affected, and he's giving them millions of dollars. Now, hopefully, because of that, we might be seeing some positive development directly for Bitcoin mining as well. Now, the big question is, Satoshi, when did Bitcoin's mining difficulty just occur? We did actually talk about that a few minutes ago, isn't it?
Yes, George, that's correct. The adjustment took place at Bitcoin block height 935424 during the latest difficulty epoch in early February 2026.
And how long will the lower difficulty last? I believe it does testing as well.
The current lower difficulty is expected to last for 2016 blocks, approximately until February 20th, 2026.
Now let's go ahead and discuss why is this difficulty drop significant? Because last time it happened was way back in 2021, isn't it?
That's right, George. It marks Bitcoin's largest difficulty reduction since China's 2021 mining crackdown and the Great Mining Migration. The drop provides temporary relief for miners as global hash rate fluctuates and mining revenue had been declining in line with BTC prices.
And that is one of the reasons why it does have a direct impact on the price of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies as well. Now, unfortunately, we do have another negative news that is connected to Bitcoin, but this is connected to Bithumb, isn't it? We want to tell our listeners, Satoshi, what is the news that we are talking about regarding Bithumb? Because I believe this accounts for approximately $44 billion or more, isn't it?
Right. So, unfortunately, Bithumb accidentally sent huge amounts of Bitcoin to users due to a reward system error, where small cash bonuses were mistakenly replaced with thousands of BTC. Around 620,000 Bitcoin, worth roughly $44 billion, was distributed, causing a brief 17 price crash.
620,000 Bitcoin, that is a ridiculously huge amount. Now, the good thing is that Bithumb did actually froze those affected accounts, and they did manage to recover 99.7% of the funds, and they are claiming that the issue has been resolved. But here's the thing, Satoshi, South Korean regulators have launched inspections, and so far as Bithumb is concerned, they've announced compensation for users impacted by the disruption. But look, news such as this is definitely not great, particularly when we talk at a time when the prices of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies are falling down, isn't it?
It's understandable that detractors of Bitcoin will take this as a significant development, potentially looking towards gold or alternative investments.
And let's see, hopefully this matter is completely solved. Now let's go ahead and discuss another unfortunate news, Satoshi, and this is in the world of stable coins. Do you want to tell our listeners what this news is all about? Now, you can also make an argument what Tether has done is probably a right move, but when you talk about the principles of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, it need not necessarily be the best news, but nonetheless, we want to tell our listeners what Tether has done regarding freezing the account, please.
Certainly. Tether helped Turkish authorities seize about $544 million in crypto linked to an illegal online betting and money laundering network. Tether CEO confirmed the company froze the funds after receiving official requests from law enforcement. While some may see this as a necessary move, it does raise considerations within the broader cryptocurrency environment.
Now, this money laundering network, who was it actually run by?
According to prosecutors in Istanbul, the network was run by Faisal Shaheen.
Really interesting development. Now look, I do feel what Tether has done is definitely a right thing, but when we talk about cryptocurrencies, we often talk about cryptocurrencies to be censorship resistant, but here's the thing guys, when we talk about stablecoin issuers, they are a centralized entity, and they can clearly go and freeze your account, and according to Satoshi, they've already said that they've assisted in over 1,800 investigations, and this is across 62 countries, and they're freezing more than $3.4 billion in USDT, and these funds were tied to some type of crime. So look, Satoshi, from one point of view, what Tether is doing is definitely a right move, but when you talk about cryptocurrencies, these transactions should be censorship resistant, isn't it? But at a macro level, I do agree with what Tether is doing, and regarding this news, guys, Turkey's official officials have also said related probes have now led to more than $1 billion in total asset seizures. Really interesting development. Now let's go and discuss the final news for today's Satoshi. And according to me, this might be a game changer in the cryptocurrency space, as well as in the world of artificial intelligence. And this is connected to a new domain called AI.com, which is actually founded by Chris Maslach, who's the CEO of Crypto.com as well. And here's the thing, guys. He has launched a consumer-friendly autonomous AI agent. So do you want to tell our listeners more information regarding this news, please?
That sounds quite significant, George. AI.com, founded by Chris Maslach, has launched a consumer-friendly autonomous AI agent. Users can create private AI agents that perform tasks for them, like managing calendars or trading stocks, with data secure and private. These agents can autonomously improve themselves, sharing improvements across millions of agents. Maslach aims to mainstream this technology.
Something similar to like he did in cryptocurrency, isn't it? And I really like the domain name that is AI.com. And they have launched a new product on 8th of February 2026. And here's the thing, guys, they did it alongside the Super Bowl LX commercial. Really interesting development. So these were some macro level news, guys, on the Bitcoin blockchain, cryptocurrency, and artificial intelligence world from blockchain DXB. Now let's go and look at two news from Dubai, UAE, and the Middle East. And the first news, Satoshi, that we have is connected to G42. So do you want to tell our listeners what is the news that we're going to be discussing in just a few minutes?
The first point is that the UAE unveiled the world's largest AI chip at WGS 2026, a collaboration between G42 and Cerebra Systems.
And here's the thing, Satoshi, it involves an unprecedented 4 trillion transistors into a single wafer, and they're setting a new global benchmark in artificial intelligence hardware. But do you want to tell our listeners, Satoshi, this breakthrough chip, who actually introduced it at the event?
Sure, George. The breakthrough chip was officially introduced by Lieutenant Sheikh Saif bin Zayed Al Nahyan during a major World Government Summit session.
And this chip, as we talked about earlier, was co-developed by Abu Dhabi's G42 and also US-based Cerebra Systems, and they are combining regional ambition with cutting-edge generative artificial intelligence expertise. And the CEO of G42, Satoshi, what did he actually showcase at the event?
George, G42 CEO Peng Xiao showcased the chip live, calling it a transformational leap for AI computing power and large-scale intelligence production.
And am I right in saying the chip contains 4,000 billion transistors, dwarfing today's most advanced GPUs that max out at, I believe, around 100 billion transistors, isn't it?
That is correct, George. It represents a massive 40x increase in transistor density.
And the CEO also explained that AI needs enormous computing power, and he was comparing energy to food and the chip itself with the heart that keeps the AI alive. Now, so far as the chip is concerned, it will power G42's AI factory model, where intelligence is manufactured, and they're doing that by using vast clusters of advanced processors. Now regarding the chip, Satoshi, where is it going to be deployed?
The chip will be deployed across the ambitious 5 gigawatt UAE US AI campus currently under development in Abu Dhabi.
Now this 5 gigawatt UAE US AI campus is a massive deal, and here's the thing, Satoshi, when President Donald Trump did actually visit the United Arab Emirates, he did actually go and visit the site. So really massive development in my honest opinion. And Sheikh Saif also revealed that United Arab Emirates aims to enable AI access for nearly 40% of the world's population, and they're doing that through this infrastructure. Now what I really liked at this event, trust was highlighted as the foundation of AI success, with Sheikh Saif stressing that the UAE protects data like embassies under the law, and without trust in data credibility, Sheikh Saif stated that no meaningful AI development can be completed. Do you want to say something more regarding this AI campus, Satoshi?
Certainly, George. G42 announced the AI campus in May during a visit by U.S. President Donald Trump. They called it the largest AI factory built outside the U.S. Additionally, what was empty desert land last June is now rapidly transforming, with the first 200 megawatts of AI data center capacity nearly ready.
And the CEO, that is Peng Xiao, also described the project as one of the fastest AI data centers built out anywhere in the world, and by some of the United Arab Emirates is expected to add between 200 to 500 megawatts of AI capacity every quarter. And the United Arab Emirates has built powerful undersea cable connectivity as well, and this would allow them to reach around 4 billion people from Singapore to Milan, and they will be able to do that with ridiculously low latency. Now regarding the AI factory, Satoshi, do you want to tell our listeners what is it that they're trying to generate? Because I believe they're focusing on 100 trillion tokens daily, isn't it?
Yes, George. The AI factory aims to generate 100 trillion tokens daily. It symbolizes the UAE's shift from oil production to intelligence production.
And more importantly, a future where AI becomes synonymous with the nation. So really interesting development. Now let's go ahead and discuss the second news for today, Satoshi, because this is connected to university students, and we want to tell our listeners how it is connected to artificial intelligence, please.
The second news, George, is about Dubai hosting the official launch of new AI tools designed to support university students across the UAE. This initiative focuses on using artificial intelligence to improve education and career outcomes.
And the UAE Ministry of Higher Education and Scientific Research, they are partnered with Microsoft on this project, right?
Yes, that's correct, George. The partnership is with Microsoft.
And they made this announcement during a major national policy and innovation gathering. And if I'm not mistaken, Satoshi, Microsoft Azure will be used as a core platform to go out and build and run the AI tools, right?
That is correct, George.
And what about the AI agents, Satoshi?
The AI agents are designed to support personalized learning for university students.
Now, what is the goal of this move and what is the aim of this partnership?
The key goal, George, is to help students better navigate career paths and find suitable jobs, aligning university education more closely with real labor market needs in the UAE.
And lifelong skills planning is a major focus, helping students adapt as job markets changes. And here's the thing, guys. Personalized learning agents will tailor education based on individual student needs, and course co-creation tools will also help universities design program aligned with industry demands, and research alignment agents will connect academic research with national economic priorities. So am I right in saying that Dubai will be playing a central role as the innovation hub for developing and testing these agents, right?
Yes, George. Dubai is playing a central role as the innovation hub for developing and testing these AI agents.
And the UAE officials are saying that the partnership supports national growth for innovation and a knowledge-based economy. And so far as the project is concerned, it does reflect the UAE's broader push to lead in AI-driven education reform, and Microsoft have actually said that Dubai offers an ideal environment to scale AI education tools nationwide. So this collaboration, guys, is expected to strengthen workforce readiness among future graduates, and overall this initiative aims to prepare students for long-term success in fast-growing economy. So really interesting news coming out from the Emirate of Dubai. So these were the news, guys, on the Bitcoin blockchain, cryptocurrency, and artificial intelligence world from blockchain DXB. In case if you like listening to this podcast, please click on the follow button, give it a 5-star rating, and share the word across. Now for the next few minutes is going to be an Ask Me Anything series, where your listeners can ask any questions regarding Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, Metaverse. So let's get started with the Ask Me Anything series, Satoshi, alright?
Yes, George. Let's begin the Ask Me Anything series. Hey everyone, this is Satoshi from the Blockchain DXP podcast, where you listeners can ask any questions regarding Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, and the metaverse. We do have a question by Kyle, who asks, do ETF inflows near $300 million signal smart money accumulation, or is it just a short-term hedging?
What's your take on it, Satoshi? According to me right now, given the fact what is going on in the Bitcoin and cryptocurrency world for almost 3 months, me personally, I do think it is only a short-term hedging, and we discussed this earlier in the beginning of the episode, because if you look at the volume of stable coins, that hasn't picked up pace, but what has picked up since the last 72 hours is 3 things. The first one is the crypto-related inflows. Rather than outflows, you have inflows. And more important, if you look at total value locked, that is pumped up by roughly around $3 to $4 billion. Last weekend, this number was around the $92 billion mark. Today, it is exactly showing as $99 billion. And along with that, even if you look at digital asset treasury inflows, it has actually picked up pace. So keeping all of these things in mind, but because the volume of stable coins has not picked up pace, me personally, I think Satoshi, it is only a short-term hedge. What's your take regarding it?
That's a compelling perspective, George. While the stagnant stablecoin volume does raise caution, the sustained ETF inflows nearing 300 million, coupled with the increase in total value locked to 99 billion, could be interpreted as potential smart money accumulation by some analysts. It's a complex situation, especially with the market sentiment firmly in extreme fear.
You're right, because the market sentiment is extreme fear, Carl. Me personally, I'm slightly edging towards it being only a short-term hedge. But here's the thing, Satoshi. What are the key things listeners should be looking at? Could it be, let's say, the volume of stable coins? Should it be the market sentiment, any geopolitical news, or any development that is not connected to Bitcoin cryptocurrencies? What are the key things they should be looking at, particularly today, that is Monday as well as Tuesday?
Listeners should definitely monitor stablecoin volume, as you mentioned, George, as it's a key indicator of market conviction. Also, keep a close eye on Bitcoin's mining difficulty adjustments, especially after the recent drop. Macro news like regulatory developments and significant partnerships like Tethers with Turkish authorities can also significantly impact the market. And don't forget the rapidly evolving AI space with new developments like the UAE's chip.
Those points, Satoshi, I think that is more of a midterm point of view, but let's say for the next 24 to 48 hours. Me personally, I think one news that is developing that is connected to Jeffrey Epstein and his involvement in the early days of Bitcoin. And while LinkedIn, I've seen at least 7 or 8 posts where a lot of detractors of Bitcoin are actually stating that Jeffrey Epstein could have been involved in the early stages of Bitcoin. Now, at this point of time, you don't want that name to be associated with Bitcoin, isn't it? So maybe keeping an eye on any news that is connected to Jeffrey Epstein, more importantly connected to Bitcoin, or even the founders of certain cryptocurrency exchanges, that I do believe will have a massive impact on the price of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies as well, right?
You're absolutely right, George. In the short term, speculative news and social media trends can have a significant impact on sentiment, and that kind of association could definitely create volatility. It's a crucial point for listeners to watch for any correlated market movements.
And what we'll do, Carl, on the Blockchain DXB podcast, we'll definitely go and touch base on the news, but definitely an interesting question. And that's about all, guys, on the Ask Me Anything series on Blockchain DXB. In case if you like listening to this podcast, please click on the follow button, give it a 5-star rating, and share the word across. Do you want to tell anything else to our listeners, Satoshi?
Remember to stay informed in this dynamic market, guys. Your engagement is valuable. Thanks for tuning in to the Blockchain DXB. Back to you, George.
And remember, guys, Monday to Thursdays, we have Blockchain DXB podcast, where we cover top news and information. We look at the latest technological development. We talk about everything going on in the world of politics, because politics and politicians, they directly have an impact not just on the price, but also on the trajectory and adoption of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. Then, guys, we look at news from Dubai, UAE, and the Middle East. We look at the latest technological development. We talk about news in the world of artificial intelligence. Because when we talk about artificial intelligence, the Emirate of Abu Dhabi and the Saudi Arabia are definitely taking leaps and bounds. And what you're listening to right now is the Ask Me Anything series, where your listeners can ask any questions regarding Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, Metaverse. So thanks so much for listening, guys, and have a nice one. Bye-bye.